Okay, YouTubers, welcome back to Front Engine Dragster Life in the Shop, and this is part 2 of the Edelbrock sludge slash crud buildup in the bottom of the carburetor. Now, as you can see, I've gotten most of it cleaned out. Doesn't look the best, but you know, it did do some damage to the bottom of the carburetor there. Turned it kind of a dark color. So and I started putting it back together. You can see I put the jets back in and everything. So, and now just wanted to show you one thing you'll have to look for if you have this problem. You're going to want to clean out those little teeny tiny orifices right there. Hard to see in the camera, but yeah, right there you go. Make sure you get those clean, and those two little holes in the center of the bolt holes, you need to be able to see light through them, daylight. Alright, same with the front. I left a couple of them unbolted here so I can show you. Got a tiny orifice down at the base right there. And on this side. Okay, and the same thing. You want to be able to see through that tiny hole and that tiny hole. Those are vents. Emulsion tubes, whatever you want to call it. Alright, I did clean up the top. Let me grab a screwdriver here. Right here is where the needle and seats go. The seats go for the needle and seats. Okay. Of course, that's your accelerator pump setup. Here is your seats that screw into the top of the carburetor. Now, I didn't show it on this one, but the screens were just full of, look like calcium. But what it is the ethanol, as I mentioned in the last video, ethanol and water. What it is, it seems like the ethanol just bonds with the water and causes it to have like a gelatin type substance in the bottom of the carburetor, which gets circulated through the entire carburetor. And if obviously this one's 2.5, 3 months old since the rebuild, well, then there you go. That's how fast it works. So it did clean both screens. They were okay. I mean, they did have some buildup on them, but they're okay. And then cleaned the floats. Everything's clean now. So I'm gonna just I wasn't sure in the last video how this carburetor was going to clean up, so I was on the verge of saying I'm just going to junk it, but I decided to clean it up, and it cleaned up pretty good. Of course, it's almost impossible to see the passageways from the jet over to here, so that's the part. If I can't see it, I'm not too comfortable with it, and normally I don't want to fool with it, but in this case, the sediment in the bottom of the bowl is cleaned up nicely. So I am going to finish assembling this carburetor and put it back together. Okay, so right here is where your squirter nozzle goes, discharge nozzle, if you will. Right here is your nozzle and your check valve and check ball. Alright, so now on some of the four-wheel drive vehicles, when you get your rebuild kit, you'll notice that this comes with a little spring. You four-wheel drive guys who climb up and down hills and sideways on hills and mountains and stuff, you need that. You don't have to have it in a street car. So okay, well, I guess that's about it then. Like I said, I'm gonna finish putting this carburetor back together and get it back on the vehicle. So if you haven't done it already, subscribe to my channel. Give it a thumbs up. Hit that little notification bell beside the subscribe button for other videos in my channel and future videos to come. All right, once again, thank you.